What's going on, Jeromes? So, yes, I understand the danger of doing up the winners and losers video before the game is even over. 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but Daddy has some things to do. So, if Matt Corral throws for 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, just sort of is what it is. But we said that this was a monumental game for jumping Jaren Hall, a.k.a. the Mormon Missile, the pride of BYU. Second-year man, was a 2023 fifth-round pick out of BYU. Again, this is a BYU hat. This is not Yale. But Jaren Hall, he had his moments as a rookie, didn't look great in the Packers game, but sort of is what it is. And he needed a strong performance on Saturday to solidify himself as quarterback 3. Otherwise, he was going to have to call the manager of football. Because I think he was in a spot where with J.J. McCarthy on injured reserve, you got Darnold and Mullins as your 1-2. But if Hall was sort of flustered and floundered, I think the Vikings would have made a move for another quarterback, potentially Dorian Thompson-Robinson, maybe Matt Corral, maybe just another guy at 53-man cutdowns. Who knows? But Jaren Hall is a stud, man. Jaren Hall was absolutely dynamite on Saturday, so props to him. The pride of BYU, the Mormon Missile, definitely deserves his flowers, and we got some winners. So Jaren Hall completed 68% of his passes, 17-25, and also a couple of his incompletions were, well, first off, Lucky Jackson mishandled 2 touchdowns, as well as a couple of them were pressure-related. So, whatever. 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, 116.9 quarterback rating. Nice. And he did have bad protection towards the end as they were shifting through to the third-team offensive line for the game. So, I'm glad that they got him out of there. But Jaren Hall, he was dropping bombs and was looking good. He was comfortable. He was manipulating the pocket well. Things were coming out on time. Plenty of arm strength. Good placement on a lot of the balls as well. And I think the Vikings have some. And we said that I do think that Jaren Hall could become the long-term backup for J.J. McCarthy. I don't think that Jaren Hall is going to be a starter ever, but could he be a solid career backup quarterback too? Yes. I think he certainly could be that guy. Also, the starting offensive line running game. So, starting O-line left to right was Quisenberry, Bird, Juergens, Tyrese Robinson, and Walter Rouse. They ran a little bit of gap, ran over that right side with Rouse and Robinson, and they made some hay. Like Myles Gaskin was out there getting 4.7 yards per carry, 13 carries for 61, running with vision, and was solid overall. But then they started mixing and matching along the offensive line. Just wasn't quite as good, especially in terms of protection. N'Keal Harry. So N'Keal is an interesting name. So former first-round wide receiver by the Patriots, big body guy, put on some good weight and became a tight end this year. And the Vikings have really liked trotting him out there with the second-team offense, but starting defense today, where he is a bit of a matchup nightmare because he's a little bit too quick for linebackers and safeties, but also maybe not safeties, but he's also too big for safeties. And the Vikings basically came out in 11 personnel to start things off. So Gaskin, your running back, N'Keal Harry, your tight end, but really the wide receiver. And then you had Jackson, Sherfield, and Jackson. So, I mean, overall, it's like basically you're running 4 wide receivers out there. Which certainly was pretty interesting, but I kind of like it. Kind of like how things looked early on. But N'Keal, I mean, Munt, Muse, Oliver, I think make the 53. I think Harry's the 4th man out. I don't think that they keep 4 tight ends on the 53, especially with Hockenson eventually coming back, but who knows, man. Also, the aforementioned Tristan Jackson, Trent Sherfield. So Jackson, 2 catches for 15 yards and a touchdown, but 3 straight preseason games with a touchdown. I think that he's earned himself a spot on the 53 as a wide receiver 5. Sherfield, so the coaches clearly like him. They love his tenaciousness in run blocking. 3 catches for 20 yards. He's just a tough dude, right? And you could see why he is in demand. Maybe the Vikings don't think that they can get him through waivers onto the practice squad initially, even though he's been on 5 teams in 5 years. But who knows? Defensive line-wise, so Jalen Redmond and Levi Drake Rodriguez sort of had mirror matching games. And Drake had himself a couple nice pressures, had himself a forced fumble when Dallas Gant stood up the running back. And also on that same play, Jalen Redmond recovered it. So it was a great duo there by 2 of the Vikings' more penetrating defensive linemen. Also, both of them swatted the ball at the line of scrimmage, which speaks to, hey, if you're not getting home, watch the quarterback and get your hands up at the right time. So that's a great job by them. Great coaching as well. Plus 2 linebackers. Dallas Gant is one of our favorites, as well as Brian Osama. So I think that Osama has done enough to get that fourth linebacker spot in the 53. Gant is close, where I think that he should be on the 53, but I mean, it's a numbers game. Like, do they think that they can get Gant out into the practice squad? But Gant had himself another great day, just flying around and making plays. Also very solid in coverage as well. Plus, you got Lucky Jackson. So Lucky Jackson had like the David Tyree helmet catch, which is kind of funny, but 4 for 53. He would have had 2 touchdowns, except he just couldn't get the feet right. Like, he had that first one in the front left corner of the end zone. Carry on my Jayward son. Has an interception, except no. Okay. All right, so Jay Ward had himself an interception. There you go. Put him on the winners, too. This is off a deflection, though. So Lucky Jackson would have had 2 touchdowns. It was close, man. Dwight McLaughlin. So 4th down run support. Made a couple of great plays in the run game, and that's what he brings, because not only is he a technician at corner, he's a dog. Super aggressive, super aggro, textbook tackling, discipline, everything like that. I love Dwight McLaughlin. Justin Hall. So Justin Hall is interesting. Pride of Ball State, UFL star, and just signed up this last week. But there's something to him. Like, you could tell, like, the third team receivers, like Justin Hall was getting ridiculous separation all over. And he had 2 catches for 24 yards and a touchdown on 4 targets. And basically they're force feeding him the ball. Like, Jaren Hall had him sighted up 3 plays in a row down in the red zone. But he's very loose, gets open. Is it too late for a practice squad spot? I don't know. But also, given his special teams versatility, I mean, he could be an interesting name, even if he isn't on the practice squad or 53 initially, to potentially watch throughout the season. Plus, then you got Duke Shelley. Duke Shelley, man. So, of course, Durante Jones, taking his cue from Flores, like, he couldn't help himself, like calling up corner blitzes in the 3rd preseason game. I kind of love it. But also, Shelley very good in run support as well. Anjakar the 2nd, strip sack to open up the party in the second half. And Carter, quietly has been performing pretty well. Frankly, I think he played just a touch better than Bo Richter and Owen Porter today. But it's going to be a close decision either way. Also, Hottie Ward. I love Jihad Ward. It's fantastic, man. And also Dwayne McBride. So McBride was running with some pop today, and he had been slowed by an injury. I believe it was his right knee was dinged up, but had some nice runs. Also was a receiver out of the backfield, which is something he wasn't asked to do at UAB. Plus, you saw him constantly back returning kicks throughout a training camp and preseason. So, McBride being back. Also, Mo Ibrahim, haven't seen him yet, but who knows? But either way, I think that McBride made a strong case to make that 53. But we'll see what happens in the shuffle. But other than that, like, really was the Jaren Hall show. I'm really glad that he had himself a good performance and solidifies that quarterback 3 spot. Otherwise, the Vikings would have been searching. And I'm glad that we're not going down that road. No losers, but Walter Rouse, that blown protection. Gave up a sack on Jaren Hall. Also, Lewisine missed a couple tackles, had a DPI, also had a holding call on one of the kick returns. It just wasn't that good of a game. And also, it kind of stands out that he was playing deep into this game with the 3rd and 4th team. So, I don't know. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings, Eagles, winners and losers. Actually, just winners. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Don't support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol. Production value. Oh, there's Mo Ibrahim. There you go. 36. Let's go.